Welcome, friends. Today we're talking about an uncomfortable yet deeply necessary topic: narcissistic fleas. When we spend a significant amount of time around someone who is narcissistic or inside a high control environment, we begin to unconsciously develop the exact same manipulation tactics, defense mechanisms, and toxic behaviors that we are subjected to. So, first off, it's very common that once we start bringing up our experiences to them, they typically say it was all our fault to begin with. They will accuse us of doing the exact same thing that they are doing to us. They will say whatever they can to make us feel like it's our fault. So much so that we start believing them and we start feeling like it is our fault and that we are gaslighting them or whatever they are accusing us of. And that's when we start making excuses. That's when we start apologizing for things that aren't our fault, apologizing for even just being sad. There's so many different things so many different ways this can happen. So I used to watch these videos about narcissistic personalities and think, oh my God, are they talking about me? I was manipulative. I was cold. I lied. I can see how I relate to all of these things that they're saying. Am I the narcissist? And I even got an assessment for being for narcissistic personality disorder, which thank God I failed. I did not get a diagnosis at all. In fact, I went the complete opposite way. They gave me a complete opposite diagnosis. So before we dive deep into looking at what the behaviors look like, I just want to acknowledge that you may resonate with some of these behaviors. And if that's you, I'm here for you, no matter what. I hear you, I see you. If you're watching this and wanting to become a resilient, more loving individual by learning how to protect yourself from those who aren't loving, I guarantee you that you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Chances are, if you're here, you're watching this, there's no reason for you to be concerned at all. And I'm going to explain why. So, when we are in these situations surrounded by harmful behaviors, we are trying to survive a psychological war zone. Your instincts for survival needed to feel a sense of belonging with them in some kind of way to protect yourself and to validate your relationship with them. And they were also trying to get you to conform to their agenda. They wanted you to become like them to validate themselves. So it comes down to a basic human adaptation. When we are trapped in an environment where our boundaries are constantly violated and our reality is systematically denied, our standard tools for communication like honesty, vulnerability, and directness become liabilities. The controller will use your vulnerability as a weapon against you. So your brain starts to mimic their behavior to protect yourself. You learned to speak the language of the cage that you were trapped in just to stay alive inside of it. It's also important to consider that you may have adopted these survival methods during childhood. And in that case, it might feel completely normal to be with others who also have these traits, and the defense mechanisms might be very rooted into your subconscious. So I just want us to acknowledge that the biggest difference between you and them is you have awareness and you have significant remorse. A person with fleas uses these tactics as a shield. When the fog clears, they feel a deep sense of horror and remorse about how they acted. So basically, if you feel remorse for any of the ways that you've behaved, there's nothing for you to be concerned about, because there are people who can't feel remorse at all, and those are the people we have to be resilient against. So recognizing that you caught these fleas is an act of profound self-awareness. It means you are moving what was unconscious into the conscious mind, which gives you power to come back into a space of love for yourself and those around you. You can start talking to your inner child by saying, "These behaviors kept me safe back then, but I don't need them now. I am safe enough to return to my true loving nature." And when you can do that, you take your power back and you start releasing the old mechanisms that aren't serving you anymore. So instead of feeling guilt, feeling ashamed, feeling the feeling of being responsible for your actions in regarding these relationships, I want us to consider this as an opportunity to be gentle with yourself. So if you resonate with any of these behaviors I discussed in this course, I strongly encourage a self-loving mindset. This is an opportunity for you to dive deeper into love, not away from it. You need more love, not less, and I strongly believe that, no matter who you are. You had to do what you had to do to survive, especially if you adopted these behaviors in childhood. Healing takes time, and I'm just so happy that you're here. In the next video, we're going to look at the explosive twin to this concept, reactive abuse, and what happens when your nervous system completely snaps. Thank you for watching.